We're live. We're back. Happy Monday, May 19th. Holy cow, this is escalating quickly. So, pretty cool topic today, I think. Less passionate, I think. Less impassioned. Is that the word? I think, but from last Friday where I kind of went off a little bit. Whoops. No, I actually I got a lot of feedback from people saying it was really helpful. I think this one is aligned from a level of helpfulness standpoint. So it has come to my attention based on a conversation I had and then a LinkedIn post. And I'm like, wait. This is starting to look like a pattern, that there are people who believe that Squarespace and platforms similar to Squarespace, their competitors, as DIY platforms, there's no need to hire a designer. Someone was like, why would I pay $5,000 or $10,000? I'm not going to say the actual amount to pay a designer for a DIY platform. And it's interesting to me. I think missing on a couple of things. I'm going to touch on those here. And my first thought was like, let me count the ways. But, I don't want to be too smug. And I get that I can get there sometimes. I are human. Look, Squarespace runs a lot of ads. I think if you've ever listened to a podcast or watched a YouTube video in this box, you've seen Squarespace ads. Kind of common. And they convey, rightly so, the idea that it's easy to get started. And it is. It absolutely is. It's easy to create something of a professional website using the platform. Technically, that is 100% accurate. And I know, as a matter of fact, having worked with over 100 businesses in the last year and a half or so, that a lot of people endeavor to do this and then get stuck. A lot of them. I would say 20%, actually, I should probably count the number. 20% of the businesses that we've onboarded at resonantpixel.co for our subscription service for Design by Subscription, they stood up their own website on Squarespace and got knee deep and realized they was stuck, that they didn't know how to get out, and they didn't have a means to envision the end or get to the end. And then 100% of the time, they didn't even get to the technical hurdle of DNS and updating the domain or anything like that. Like literally just generating pages using a fantastic looking template or theme or whatever you want to call it. So consider this. Professionals, just like these folks who go to stand up their own website, have customers who get into it. Like if you're a plumber and someone breaks something in the house trying to fix it themselves, you come in and be like, you should have called me earlier. I've heard it. I've heard it with the septic tank guys. I didn't try to drain my own septic tank. That's not what happened. I know you were thinking it. They have deep knowledge. Anyone with deep vertical expertise in a field or with a craft, can get work done differently, right? They have a wealth of knowledge. And in our industry, it's in UI, UX, user experience and user interface design. Sorry about the acronyms, or search engine optimization, as we call SEO, and conversion optimization, and really knowing how to convey certain topics or ideas and knowing how to spray content in a way that cascades a story for optimizing conversions and really communicating and connecting with people that the business needs to have them understand the story that they're trying to convey. So I would consider that experience being extremely valuable, even if it's not done for you, it's more of a done with you setting. And I have more on that at the end of this video. I'll also say time is money. And getting a website up and running, even if it's just a couple of pages or even one long solid page that tells your story, is not a small task. Most people don't have a process going in for organizing their messaging and their brand, or some people don't even have a deep understanding of how brand assets work and what all is needed. So to that end, it's hard to create something professional if quality matters and things get missed. That's why having a professional with a professional experience, veteran, proven process matters, because no stone goes unturned. So the chances of there being broken or loose ends is dramatically reduced. And having ongoing support is super valuable. What I've found is that platforms like Squarespace, and I do love Squarespace, constantly evolve. Unlike a hosted software that you download and install on a server, or something like a WordPress, it's published and it's done and it's launched. And if it's not managed, it's not going to be updated. And Squarespace is very well managed, and they're actively developing the platform. So while you were busy for 6 months getting all of your amazing work done and growing your company, you come back to the website to find things have moved, settings have moved, that options have changed, that layout features have updated, and it can be really disorienting and often frustrating to get in there and realize that now you don't know how to make the updates to the thing that even you created. It's not that you don't know how, it's that it's going to take you an extra half an hour to bang on things with your mouse to figure out what's moved where and how to get that update made, right? So overall, yes, there are DIY platforms like Squarespace that offer access to rapid development to something resembling a great looking website. The expertise of a professional is significant enhancement in the quality, effectiveness, and output, really, time-wise, of the website. So that's sort of that in a nutshell. I would say that one more thing on this would be, how do you pick a designer? How do you find a great designer? How do you know someone is strong? It's been my experience that everyone's portfolio largely looks the same. That's why we all run businesses that run on referrals. You can run a search in Google for web designer. You're going to get all kinds of stuff. And it's really hard to tell who's going to do a good job for you and your business. Super difficult to figure that out. So experience matters. Find someone that has experience. I would go with someone with experience in your vertical if you can. It's not critical. Designers are usually really good at context switching, but having someone with experience in your vertical can help them quickly get up to speed, especially if what you do is fairly technical. The next one would be find a designer with a great process. They should be able to articulate their process and make you feel like you're going to go through this in a manner that covers all of your concerns and creates a great outcome. The next one would be, and this may surprise you, some chemistry. Get on a call, a Zoom video, or meet in real life if you want, like if that's even possible for you, and meet them and ask them questions, see how they work. This is absolutely an interview, and you should be comfortable with whomever is going to be working on your stuff. Now, it doesn't have to be someone like you or looks like you or sounds like you or talks like you. I'm not talking about getting bro-y. I'm talking about finding someone who gives you confidence that they understand the outcome that you need, and they have a way to get that done that makes you feel like your investment is going to go in a great direction. And to that end, make sure there are terms that you're comfortable with. A lot of designers will charge like half up front and half on delivery for a project, especially if it's more than a couple $1,000s. Normally when a project creeps up past $15,000-$20,000 ballpark and gets bigger, you could enter into one of two different types of engagements. One might be thirds. So like 30% here, 30% in another milestone, and then, 40%, or it could be all 33s. It can vary. Or if there's a published date as part of the project plan, then maybe you pay monthly. That happens too, especially if a project is considered to be in the 6-month and up ballpark. You'll find that you might make 6 installments monthly, or maybe get into quarters, like 25% payments. That happens too. But make sure they're terms that you're comfortable with, and that output of cash and that investment is something that doesn't put your business in jeopardy. Like if you have $12,000 in your business and someone wants to charge you $10,000 for a website, and you don't know if that is even going to be a great outcome, and you're basically unable to, pay for other things in the business because you've only got 2 G's left, and manage your money. You know how to manage your money. All I'm saying is, a large lump sum fee for anything and I run a business, I know it can harm cash flow or put cash flow in jeopardy if things don't turn out the way you planned or were expecting. So make sure that the terms are something that you're comfortable with and your business can work through. So is investing in a professional designer a great idea? Yeah, I think it's well worth the investment. I'm biased. I'm a web designer and I've made hundreds of websites, but I can realize, let me say this. The whole reason I created a subscription at resonantpixel.co was because helping small businesses can be a challenge when they are literally putting their business at risk by paying out a lump sum in cash. And we were doing websites on Squarespace for $5,000, $7,500, $10,000, $12,000. I think the most we've ever charged is $30,000. It was just north of $30,000. And obviously there was a lot of complexity there. And the thing is, like, it can be really hard to make this level of investment. So I thought, well, how can we level that out and increase the value that they're getting and make having this incredible asset accessible to the business financially? And how can we align as businesses on their trajectory, on their way to success and my way to success? How can we align our goals so that there's mutual value? And I thought that the subscription would do that, and I was 100% right. We have dozens of subscribers, and that part of the business, the done for you agency style model that I've done with Design by Subscription, has absolutely been successful. And I want to help more people. So that's why I've launched the Credibility Playbook, which is a done with you cohort. So I'm launching this now, and it's brand new. The idea is that you have a cohort of people that come in on the weekly calls, and what we're going to do is move you from being stuck with your template or your spin up of your new website, or maybe you made it a while ago and you don't want to get in there, or you want to get in there and you're not sure because all the buttons have moved. These things happen, and I'm prepared to help you through that with my proven process, the Credibility Playbook. And there's a link in the description if you're curious about getting it done for a fraction of the price of hiring someone to do it, and you have the time to get it done, or you want to learn how to get it all done. Either way, I don't care the reason why you want to come in there. One of those two, the program's built to help you, period. And the sun's coming out. I'm getting absolutely blasted now, so I'm yellow. Awesome. So anyway, I hope this was helpful. I hope you have a better understanding of whether or not you can or should invest in a web designer to help you with your Squarespace or other platform website. I think that it's a pretty amazing investment. When you make a great choice, the trajectory of your business can change entirely, and the value of that is unreal. And if you want to do it yourself and you want some help, you want some sort of amazing concierge service for Squarespace, there's a link below in the description that you can bang on that will introduce you to my Credibility Playbook program. So if you can keep a secret, you can get in there. I think you'll be pleased. That's my goal. So anyway, have a great week. What an awesome Monday. I'm excited for this week. I hope you are too. I'll see you Wednesday right back here, 11 a.m. Eastern time. And we'll have another chat. So no one joined us today. I go live so people will join us and turn this into an AMA, and nobody joined today. And that's okay. I was spoiled last week because we had a few people join live. No comments and questions though. But if you leave a comment after this publishes and you have a question for me, you just pop it in there and I will reply. I've replied to every comment except for the one that was kind of spammy. I think I'm all right. With that. So anyway, have an amazing week and I'll talk to you later.